Well, the time has finally come for some new equipment on the channel. Welcome to the first video of 2025. Hola, high fashion doll lovers. My name is Christopher y bienvenidos to my channel. In today's video, I will be going over some newly released dolls by Integrity Toys. But before we get into today's video, as I'm ready to cough, disclaimer, this is the first time I'm ever trying a mic. So if there's any kinks, if there's any kind of like things that happen, bear with me. I am learning as I go, but I'm super excited to finally have a mic, which has been requested by multiple people. So new year, new equipment. Let's get right into this video, shall we? We are first going to be discussing the Poppy Parker. She was Be Mine Poppy Parker from the Poppy Parker Collection Special Edition Valentine's Day gift set. Wow, that is a long title. Long. Pretty long. I do have some positive things to say about this puppy. If you are a regular on my channel, you know I've been swayed back and forth with her. I still have not purchased one, but I've appreciated things from afar. First things first, I'm going to go from my first reaction. My first reaction was this look, where I thought to myself, that feels lazy. Why does it feel lazy, Christopher? Well, this look looks just like the look from the doll that was just released for like Halloween or something. Like before the year was over. And if I'm not mistaken, someone on Instagram was able to find the reference. It was like an Oscar de la Renta dress. If you do anything Oscar de la Renta, I will remember. Iconic Dominican designer. Things that I keep to my heart. Anyways. Okay. So my first reaction was that it felt lazy. Like, why are we seeing this dress back to back again? Is it the same dress? Maybe not, but it feels the same. And when dolls are released months apart, you remember the details of some and you don't remember the details of others. I'm not a Poppy collector, so to me, when I see it, I'm like, that looks the same. I'm not looking at every small little thing to see what made her different. I'm looking at the overall vibe, and that looks the same. Now, let's take a little close up at her face. I leave it out there to those that collect her. Is this a screening we've seen before? Does this screening have a name? Because something I've been learning from my Poppy videos is that a lot of times the screening are recycled and they're reused from previous dolls. So, is this unique? Has it been seen before? I know the combo's been seen before. I'm gonna leave it there. I think you can read between the lines when I say I've seen the combo before. So overall, although this is a gift set, although it was like a moment, I'll get into why it was a moment later. The overall looks and the overall dolls just felt very lazy. And my other thought was it's giving very playline. It's giving playline because we are making like a moment of a holiday. We're giving her all of this stuff, but it's all basic stuff. And I think that's where I've been having an issue. I'm going to say it. I am. I really am. I think that's where I've been having an issue with Integrity lately. Is I feel like we have these grand displays of moments, but then when we get to the nitty gritty, it's been getting a little basic. Poppy, I feel like in the last year has been having these like elaborate moments, but the items have been basic. And then when I think of the other lines, they're not having these grand moments, but the items there aren't clicking either. So in all full transparency, I feel like we're witnessing a transition within the company, and only time will tell how this really lands on the other side. So I'm having patience and I'm having grace, but I'm well aware that we're definitely in a very rocky area. I'll leave that there, okay? Now, I'm going to move on to what I did love, and that was the box. It was a moment of all moments, and I've been loving this with Poppy Parker. I'm a little jealous. I am. I don't collect Poppy. I'm more of a Nuface fashion royalty monarch. If we still even have monarchs. Let me just say the boys. Those are the lines that I like, I follow, I love, I buy. And I get a little jealous of Poppy to have these moments and these boxes and these things that are just like, oh, that's so beautiful. And although I'm not a box collector, I will keep a good box, okay? Kiori's Luxury, the purple, kept it for storage. I've kept one of I think the Agnes box from the convention. I kept it. Great for storage. So, there comes a moment where a box is special, and like a box like this, totally special, would have been a great display, a great backdrop. Just amazing. Why is she the only one getting these things? I'm a little chow. I really am. I also took a screenshot of the things that are in there just so you could see all the accessories and all the items. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't look at them. I didn't. I really didn't, because I Poppy. And now the time has come for the long-awaited reveal of the Nuface collection, which was confirmed was delayed due to things out of their control. So this line was intended to be released before convention, as mentioned by Jessie in the live. However, that did not work in their favor. Moving on. I am first going to start pretty much in the same order they did. So the first doll I'm going to be talking about is Holograph Novi or Nova. It's not Nova because it would have just been an A, so I think it's Novi. Anyways, the new fashion collection, Audiovisuals. The edition size is 1,400. Remember when I said remember Poppies? Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. She is expected to be released early spring of this year. And funny enough for this doll, which is a dealer doll, okay? They only gave us one price, which was $175. Now hold on to the $175 till we get to the last doll, which is the lottery doll, because I got questions. And again, maybe I'm just finally waking up from a fog, or I'm just seeing things a little differently in 2025, but I got questions. Okay. I want to deal with the edition size now because I talked about it, and we're going to deal with the price for at the last doll. The reason why I wanted people to remember Poppy's edition size and Nuface is because for the longest, I feel like, although I don't collect Poppy, I've kind of accepted her laziness because I've decided that she's just the seller. She's just the one that everyone's buying. She's the one that people collect. Like, I don't know who it is, but they're out there, right? So I found it very interesting when her edition size was smaller than the Nuface line, which I don't think have been ever talked about as more popular than Poppy. Or like in my mind, I always thought Poppy was like the breadwinner. So to see that she's only, you might be saying it's only 200, but 200 is a lot in the doll world, okay? To see that she's only $200 shorter had me being like, is Poppy still your number one? Is she still your top seller? And if she's not, why are we still giving her these moments? I got questions. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Like, do you think Poppy's still the breadwinner at Integrity Toys? Or do you think she herself is fading in the background? I've digressed. We spent too much time on Poppy. Let's get into Novi. Where do we start? We start with, I liked the look. We start with, I'm going to admit right here, right now, that I did go get her on Sideshow. I'm also going to admit that my first thought was, why is she a blonde? I understand the idea, but I don't think it translated like that. And I've read a few comments in a few different places, so I know I'm not the only one with this thought, so I'm going to say this first. Please stop giving me black girls with blonde hair so much. I know she has an audience. I know there's a few people out there that like her, but when it came to her being like the first AI kind of thing, I feel like it didn't read through completely. It just gave really cute black girl with white hair and a monochromatic outfit. Now, if you've been following my channel, pretty much that, for a while, then you know, or maybe I talked about this on Instagram. I've been dying for a monochromatic moment. So when I saw the purple all together, I actually didn't hate it. I loved the coat. I loved the boots. I was into it. I was just very distracted by the hair. Honestly, I tried to see past it. And although I don't want a project, I was like, kind of like, oh, well, I get the Ayumi mold in a darker skin tone. That'd be cute. But yeah, I went after her basically because I loved her the most complete. I loved her look the most. I understood it the most. And although I didn't like the hair, that's always one of those things where, like, I'm fortunate to have a friend that reroots. I say that all the time on my channel. If you follow my Instagram, you know who it is. Shout outs to him. He's watching. So the fashion girly in me was like, well, the look is complete. I love a good monochromatic moment. I love the items that she has. And if my only issue is the reroot that I can't get past this blonde hair, I can get past that. That's something I can work on. So I did it. Now I will say though, and I'm going to insert a photo right here, right now. Someone did this on Instagram. I'm sorry if I'm not giving you credit. If you are watching, please give yourself credit because I took it out and I apologize for that. This was a real moment where I was just like, wow. Although it's two different face modes in the skin tone and in the way that they were designed. It's given recycled. Okay? And you know what? No, I'm not going to say it now. I'm going to leave it to the end. There's something else I want to say about this recycled, but I'm going to say that for later. Let's move on to the next doll because I don't want to keep you. Let's move on. Let's move on. Up next, we have Angelic Sound Yuri. Yuri, right? Correct me, please. The Nuface collection, Audiovisual, edition size, same as Novi, 1400, and she's also expected in the early spring, and her price is the same because she's a dealer doll. I think what I didn't clarify earlier is because they're dealer dolls, they're not exclusive to the club, so there aren't two prices, there's just one. But I have an issue with this price, and when we get to the lottery doll, I'll explain what my issue there is. Okay? What is there to say about this girl? I was bored. Sorry. Not sorry. The screening hair combination reminded me of an Ayumi. That was a very popular Ayumi in this club. She was the one in like the lingerie set. Apologies, I'm not getting a screenshot early enough for that reference, but I think you all know who she is because she was quite iconic. I couldn't see past the fact that she looked so much like Ayumi. I really couldn't. Where do I start with this one? I feel like our reference on Japan idols, because that's what they are idols, is a little dated. She was giving 80s angelic pop, and as someone who currently listens to a Japanese group who is currently trained under Korea but is Japanese, when Jessie said Tokyo and music, my brain went there. It should have not gone there, but it went there because they're current. And this was not what I was thinking about a Japanese pop star in the current day. So this was doll 2. I was starting to feel very underwhelmed. I was starting to feel like, well, I hope the lottery is something that I like. Because again, although I did go for Novi and I do actually like her look, and I'm gonna reroot her, the feelings weren't feeling. And by the time the second doll came out, the feelings were really starting to fade out. Where I was just like, wow, we've been waiting for a Nuface collection. And I don't know, this just isn't having that punch that they usually have. And that is the comment that I'm leaving for the end of this video. And now for our final doll of the reveal, the lottery doll. Demonic Strings Kumi. It's like Yuri and Kumi, because they're twins. Who would have known? Something else I didn't... Wait. I'm getting distracted. Let me finish my things. I was going to go right into it. You see, I was ready, but I got to pull back. Nuface Collection Audiovisual is the name of this capsule. Call it a capsule. It's not a full collection to me. There might need to be another video for that. The edition size for all three dolls are the same, so it's 1,400. All three are expected to ship this spring, 2025. This is the lottery doll. So, because she's the lottery doll, we have a W club price and then a retail price. Now, I feel that the public getting a lottery doll or just like an IT exclusive doll is really rare. I feel like the club, again, is pretty big right now. And usually when you go for a lottery, most people stick to it or they'll sell it in the forum. Kind of like a takeover kind of thing. So, sure, retail price. Here's my problem. I'm going to start there and then I'm going to get into what I was going to get into when I derailed. Ooh, the paper just flew over there on that side. This is kind of side. She is $175 for members, right? But then she's $185 retail. However, the two dealer dolls were $175. So can someone please explain to me why this doll is $10 more to the public and what deal are we getting as a W Club member? Because I feel like both the dealer dolls should have been $185, the public price, and then our one lottery doll should have been offered to members for $175 and she's $185. When I look at all the items that all of the dolls bring, they look pretty equal. Now, if someone wants to get like real detail oriented and be like, no, she has more, please let me know. Because I feel like also due to the fact that I was already underwhelmed, I couldn't really pinpoint what the difference was and why this doll to the public is $185 for $175 for us, when she honestly didn't feel that much more grand than the other two. Now, the other thing that I was derailing around earlier is a lot was mentioned about the production. And I feel like the production about these dolls, I feel like more time was spent into the production of developing the doll than time was spent in the looks. And again, I'll break that further later. I've kept on saying that, but I feel like that's a comment that I have to leave for the end. So, we have a new breastplate that was mentioned that we've just previously seen on Imogen. I was going to say Yuri, and I was like, no, that's not how that works, although I think this one has it. And we were explaining that the breastplate was introduced because the face mold were introduced, and now, although we've seen these characters before, these characters have their own face mold. And I want to share something that I've read online from other collectors that I actually think is a great idea. A lot of people honestly didn't feel the need for another set of twins. They didn't. But they did say, and I do think this is a great idea, if you're going to give us a set of twins, make slight differences in their mold so they can be slightly their own person. So if you want to make one closed mouth and the other one open mouth, if you want to make one side glance and one forward glancing, like find nuances in the face to really give them their own identity. Because right now, all that we have is one is wearing white and one is wearing black. One is an angel, one is demonic. One is blonde and the other one, like it just isn't giving too much of a contrast here for someone to really want either or the doll. And also we need to start giving twins a little bit of flavor, because a lot of times when you feel like you're getting an Enos or a Lilith, you're kind of like, well, I just got two of the same doll. But if we were to give open mouth, closed mouth, just little nuances, it would help to really kind of push people to buy them separately, or to have more interest to buy them separately instead of just buying two molds of the same thing. Now, I don't know if it's by the time this doll came out, I just wanted to love something, or the fact that I've had a doll rerouted in this hair color. She was a black doll though. And the stylist in me was like, oh, I can break some of these pieces down and I could probably restyle them. I think I can make this work. And then I really focused on the face. Because, I do like to look at my dolls as models, and I like to think of them having other lives outside of the looks that they have. And the more I looked at the face, I was like, okay, it's giving a little plain, but it's giving normal. It's giving a part of a group. It's giving another character. So I'll do it. I have yet to hear if I won the lottery or not. I don't know if the lotteries went out. As of the moment of filming this video, haven't heard yet. I did get confirmed for the Nova, as I mentioned on Sideshow. Do not know about the lottery, but I entered. Because honestly, at this point with this collection, I'm at the If I get it, cool, and if I don't, I'm all right. I'm not really missing anything. So I came across this photo on Instagram. It was in someone's stories, and I was like, oh, that's right. Jessie has had a very strong fur coat moment. We are getting a fur coat in Imogen, who's arriving shortly. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, put on your bell notifications. She is on her way. I did order her. We saw another fur coat at convention in the Style Lab, and now we're getting one with Qumi. I was gonna say Q. I was gonna create a whole new. We're seeing one there. Something else that this photo highlighted for me, other than that the fur coats are just a moment right now, is how similar Naja and Novi are as far as the purple. And in the live, someone asked Jessie, I think, about it, and he was like, purple's his favorite color. And I was like, well, now it's all making sense to me. Christopher, what are you talking about? What's making sense? I mentioned this in a video last year. I remember mentioning this. And I remember being excited for convention, but also being really scared because I just felt that, especially with all the transitions of people leaving recently from Integrity Toys, a lot has been put on Jessie's shoulder. And I feel like this is the collection that finally shows us how tired Jessie Ayala is. Something that I've come to love and appreciate about Jessie's styling is that no matter what the color story is, there's always a pop of a random color. All three of these dolls didn't really evoke that. In the Style Lab, I didn't need that because there was a different story that he was telling. And I think that story really helped him have a cohesive Style Lab. But when it came to this collection, I do feel like a lot more was put into the production of the doll and the molds. And the fashions were an afterthought. Because we got three very basic colors. We pretty much got his favorite color, a white and a black. And I think he chose colors and then chose a vibe and then just called it a day. And I'm not mad at him because I've been keeping an eye on how they've just been pushing him. I think this is another reminder of just consumer mentality with businesses. We mention Jessie so much. We talk about how much we love his styling, how much we want his stuff. And they hurt us. The problem with that, though, is that they've kept on pushing him to the point of overstretching his creativity. If you are a creative person out there, you know that your creativity comes in waves. And unfortunately, when you have to meet deadlines, you just have to kind of release and submit things. And I think this collection really shows we've pushed Jessie a little too far. It was a good collection, but it wasn't a Jessie collection. I think Jessie could have done great things with Tokyo because I think he has an amazing way of mixing colors that you wouldn't think would go together. But that wasn't presented here. I also feel like the girls slightly feel dated, especially the twins. That whole angel and demonic thing, it was giving very late 80s. Nuface collectors might have been born in the 80s, but that's not the fashion style we refer to. So I'm always very much on the creative side, and I very much support the designers, and I try my best to have very positive outcomes because I believe positivity is important in such a negative world. But I cannot sit here and act like this was the best thing ever when it wasn't. I also can't sit here and say that it gave me the best feelings in the world because it didn't. Do I sound like a hypocrite because I went after stuff? Possibly so. Maybe I'm entering my era of like buying things because I feel like I want to. And maybe my gut of like knowing what is meant for me is fading out. Or maybe that gut is still there and I'm just not feeling it as strongly as I did maybe towards the end of last year. This club year is almost over. And it seems like we're repeating the formula from last year where we're leaving a lot of dolls for the end of the club year. Last year, we had 2 dolls at the end of the club year that were just iconic. We had the mermaid and we had Kiori. 2 dolls that really were like, aha, at the end. I would love to see that happen this year, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm going to be honest with myself that things have changed. Jobs have probably been more demanding and creativity has been pushed to a limit further than it needs to be. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm also keeping an open mind. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I will, for as long as I can live and collect, will be a member. Because I think it's a benefit to be included in the conversation and have access to something than to try to find your way into something when one thing comes out that you like. That's my personal opinion. That's my point of view. So I leave this video saying, I understand. Things are not what they're used to. But when you look outside of the bubble of collecting, the world that we're currently in is not the world that we ever knew. So on a whole, things are changing, and we have to be a bit more understanding to the transitions and know that in order for things to rise again, they have to be shaky, and not everything is actually perfect, not even dolls. I hate to finish this video in such a deep and somewhat sad note, but that I think is where the year has started for me. So let's see where this journey goes in 2025. I have a couple of things to unbox. So again, if you haven't put your bell notification, please do. I'm currently looking at 2, currently waiting on 2 more. So there's a lot coming very soon. And as we were told, there's more releases to come soon as well. So let's take a deep breath and hope for the best. Until next time, guys. Adios.